Have you ever wanted to break into the tech world but felt like you were on the outside looking in, maybe because you didn't have the right experience? Well, today we're going to dive into how anyone can launch a career in the super important field of quality assurance. And more importantly, we're going to look at one single powerful AI technique that can literally rocket you from novice to pro.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics. What even is QA? Then we'll zero in on a huge bottleneck that slows everything down. From there, we'll unlock a game-changing AI prompt that smashes right through it, show you how to tailor it, see what the new workflow looks like, and then wrap up by talking about what this all means for your career. Okay, let's get into it. To really get our footing here, we first need to understand the two main players you'll meet in the world of software quality.
So, on one side, you've got the QA engineer. You can think of them as the guardians of quality. They are meticulously testing the software, a lot of times by hand, hunting for any bugs or defects. Then, on the other side, you have the SDET. That stands for Software Development Engineer and Test. These folks are basically developers, but instead of building the product, they write code that automates the testing process. Both roles are absolutely crucial.
So now we know the roles. Let's talk about a massive challenge they both run into. It's a task that takes so much time that it often grinds the entire development process to a crawl. I mean, just look at all the pieces that go into one single test case. You need an ID, a priority, a whole scenario, preconditions, the exact steps to follow, specific data to use, and a crystal clear expected result. Now, imagine having to write hundreds, sometimes thousands of these super detailed documents from scratch for every new feature. It's an absolute mountain of work. So the big question is, how do we bust through that bottleneck without cutting corners on quality? The answer is AI, but not just asking it a simple question. No, we need a detailed blueprint, what I call the ultimate prompt, to tell an AI to do all that heavy lifting for us. And the magic really begins with this one line. See, we're not just saying, hey, write some tests for me. We're giving the AI a persona, a job. We're telling it you are an expert. You have over a decade and a half of very specific, very complex experience. Just doing this one thing completely changes the game and the quality of what you get back. So the prompt itself really stands on three main pillars. First up is that role and context we just talked about, giving the AI its expert identity. Second, the business requirement. This is pretty simple. It's where you just paste in the description of the feature you need to test. And third, the objective, where we are crystal clear about what we want, exhaustive test scenarios, and super detailed test cases. And this is where the real power comes in. We aren't just asking for a wall of text. We are demanding a specific, professional, structured output. We tell the AI to give us a summary, a high-level strategy, scenarios all grouped by category, a detailed table of test cases ready to go, a list of those tricky edge cases, and even a risk assessment. It's not just an answer. It's a complete, professional test suite. But here's the really cool part. This amazing template isn't rigid. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's actually a super flexible foundation that you can easily tweak for all kinds of specialized testing. For example, say you're testing a mobile app. You can just add a little section to your prompt telling the AI to also think about things that are unique to mobile. Like different screen sizes, touch gestures like swiping and pinching, and what should happen when the phone loses its internet connection. Or maybe you're testing an API, which is kind of the backbone for how a lot of apps talk to each other. You can customize the prompt to get really technical. Ask it for tests that cover specific HTTP error codes, data schema validation, and all the important security stuff like authentication. And what about for financial apps, where every single cent has to be perfect? You got it. You can add requirements to double down on data integrity. Tell the AI to create tests for what happens when a transaction fails and needs to be rolled back, to validate complex tax calculations, and even to check for industry compliance rules. So, you see, this isn't just some neat little trick. Using a prompt like this fundamentally changes the day-to-day job of a QA professional. It shifts your focus away from that tedious, manual creation and toward high-level, expert refinement. Your new workflow becomes so much simpler and way more powerful. You grab the template, you paste in your project requirements, and you let the AI generate that massive first draft in seconds. Then your job becomes step 4, which is the most important part. You use your human brain, your expertise, to review and refine that draft before you export it. You've just gone from being a writer staring at a blank page to being an expert editor. And you can take this even further. Don't think of it as a one and done command. You should treat it like a conversation. If you have a huge document, break it down into smaller features for the AI to get more focused results. But my absolute favorite tip is this. You can ask the AI to critique its own work. You can literally follow up and ask, hey, what did you miss? Suggest 5 more edge cases for me. It's incredible. Okay, so we've got this seriously powerful tool that changes the whole daily workflow. But what does this mean for the big picture? For your actual career path, whether you're trying to break in or you're already a seasoned pro? Now, this is the traditional path to landing that first QA job. And let's be clear, these steps are still totally essential. You've got to have that foundation. But look closely at step 3, get hands-on practice via projects. This used to be a huge blocker for people. Now, you can use this AI prompt to build an entire portfolio of professional, sophisticated test plans for any project you can imagine, letting you show off skills way beyond what's expected for an entry-level role. And really, this is the single most important thing to take away from all of this. This technology elevates your role. For a beginner, it's like a ladder, letting you produce work that shows you can think strategically. For an expert, it's a force multiplier, freeing you up from the boring stuff so you can focus on the really complex, strategic problems that still need that spark of human ingenuity. You know, this fundamental shift from painstaking manual creation to this new world of rapid AI-powered refinement, it really forces us to ask a huge question. For anyone looking to build a career in technology today, is mastering tools like this, learning how to collaborate with and instruct an AI, is that now the single most important skill you can have? Definitely something to think about.